Life is not meant to hand you comfort or ease, it is meant to awaken the strength and courage within you. Every obstacle, every failure, every moment of doubt is an opportunity to discover the depth of your own power. Choosing to give up may seem like relief, but it is the heaviest burden you can place upon yourself. True growth emerges only when you continue despite fear, uncertainty and exhaustion. Every step forward, no matter how small, carries the potential to transform your life. Persistence is the force that allows hidden strength to surface in the most unexpected moments. When life pushes you to your limits, it is not your comfort, but your determination that defines who you are. Those who surrender at the first sign of difficulty never experience the depth of resilience that lies dormant within them. Each step taken despite resistance strengthens the spirit, expands the mind, and builds a foundation that fear and doubt cannot shake. The path of persistence transforms obstacles into teachers. Every challenge, every setback, every failure becomes an opportunity to discover abilities and courage that remain unseen when surrender takes control. The human spirit has an extraordinary capacity to endure, adapt and rise higher, but it reveals itself only through repeated effort in the face of adversity. Surrender stops growth, while persistence cultivates strength that lasts a lifetime. Persistence forces you to confront your limitations and redefine them. What once seemed impossible becomes achievable through repeated effort, focus and belief in your own capacity. The struggle itself becomes the instrument of transformation, sharpening your resolve and clarifying your purpose. Those who endure know that the mind and body are capable of far more than conventional perception allows. Strength is not granted, it is earned through persistence. The ripple effects of persistence extend beyond the individual. When one person refuses to give up, they become a silent example to others, showing that obstacles are temporary and strength is permanent. Their courage inspires collective growth, encouraging those around them to face challenges with similar determination. Surrender may provide temporary relief, but persistence leaves a legacy of resilience and possibility that cannot be erased. Ultimately, persistence uncovers strength that would otherwise remain hidden. It is the bridge between potential and achievement, between doubt and clarity, between weakness and power. Every moment of perseverance deepens your capacity to endure, to overcome, and to create the life you envision. Surrender closes doors, persistence opens them, revealing not only what you can accomplish but the vast, untapped power that resides within you. Failure is not an endpoint, it is a powerful instructor that reveals truths about your abilities, decisions and resilience. When you face setbacks, you are given a mirror to see where your strategies fell short, where your mindset needs adjustment, and where hidden strengths lie. Ignoring failure or running from it keeps you blind to these lessons and stunts the growth that is only possible through confrontation with your own limits. Every failure carries knowledge that cannot be learned in comfort. It exposes the gaps in preparation, highlights the weaknesses in thought, and forces reflection that sharpens your judgment. Those who give up at the first sign of struggle deprive themselves of this clarity, never fully understanding what adjustments are necessary to move forward. Only those who endure the sting of failure can extract its wisdom and transform it into actionable insight. The process of learning from failure demands courage and honesty. It requires acknowledging mistakes without excuse, taking responsibility without blame, and seeking improvement rather than surrendering to frustration. Each attempt that ends in failure is a step toward mastery, and each lesson extracted strengthens your ability to navigate challenges with precision and confidence. Giving up interrupts this process, leaving potential untapped and growth unfinished. Growth occurs at the edge of difficulty, where comfort ends and true potential begins. When life challenges you and the familiar ground beneath your feet disappears, that is the moment your real strength starts to unfold. Most people retreat when faced with hardship because discomfort feels like danger. Yet, it is within that discomfort that the seeds of transformation are planted. Struggle is not a punishment, it is the process through which resilience, awareness and clarity are born. The human spirit expands only when it is stretched beyond its limits. Each challenge forces you to think deeper, act wiser and grow stronger. When you persist in difficult moments, instead of turning away, you train the mind to see opportunity where others see impossibility. Pain and resistance are not signs to stop, but signs that you are moving beyond the surface of your capabilities. Every obstacle faced with courage becomes a tool of evolution, carving new dimensions of strength within you. Difficulty refines purpose. It strips away illusion, laziness and self-doubt, leaving only focus and determination. Easy paths create weak minds, but the hard ones build unshakable resolve. Growth never happens in stillness, it happens in friction. In the moments when you must choose between retreat and endurance, when you walk through the fire of struggle without giving up, you do not just survive it, you become something greater on the other side. Those who stop at the first sign of hardship never experience their true potential. They stay confined within the walls of comfort, mistaking safety for success. But those who keep moving forward despite uncertainty discover an inner power that fear cannot touch. The edge of difficulty is not a place of defeat, it is a place of awakening, where your courage rises to meet challenge. And your will transforms obstacles into milestones. Challenges are temporary, no matter how overwhelming they seem in the moment. Every struggle, every obstacle, every storm passes with time, but the strength you build while enduring it becomes a permanent part of who you are. When you face hardship, life is not trying to break you, it is training you to rise stronger. Each challenge tests the limits of your patience, courage and determination, shaping a foundation that cannot be shaken by future storms. When you confront difficulties instead of escaping them, you develop resilience that no comfort can teach. The mind learns to adapt, the heart learns to endure, and your entire being becomes more capable of navigating uncertainty. It is through discomfort that inner power is born. Those who embrace challenges rather than avoid them discover a steadiness within, a quiet confidence that cannot be taken away even when life becomes unpredictable. Temporary struggles act as mirrors, revealing what lies hidden beneath your fears and insecurities. They expose weakness not to humiliate you, but to strengthen you. Every challenge you survive redefines your limits, making what once seemed impossible feel attainable. It is in those moments of pressure and uncertainty that you meet your true self, the self that refuses to collapse, the self that learns to move even when the path is unclear. Resilience is not something you inherit, it is something you forge. It is built through repeated confrontation with adversity and the refusal to surrender. Every time you fall and rise again, you reinforce the belief that nothing outside of you can truly defeat you. That realization creates an unbreakable spirit, a mind that stays calm in chaos and a heart that keeps faith even when logic fails. Challenges may hurt, but they also awaken the warrior within. Giving up breeds regret, perseverance builds wisdom and experience. When you walk away from a challenge, you do not escape it, you carry the weight of unfinished effort and lost possibility. Regret becomes a silent companion, reminding you of what could have been if you had stayed the course. The pain of failure fades with time, but the ache of surrender remains, whispering in moments of quiet that you stopped when victory was still possible. to endure, even through pain, is to choose growth over comfort and courage over fear. Perseverance is not about blind stubbornness, it is a conscious act of strength. Each time you continue in the face of exhaustion or doubt, you sharpen the edge of your spirit. Through persistence, you begin to understand the rhythm of effort and reward, struggle and breakthrough. Every moment of resistance transforms into a lesson that deepens your awareness of what it truly means to strive. The wisdom you gain through endurance cannot be taught in words, it must be lived, felt, and earned through experience. The journey of perseverance rewires your perception of difficulty. What once seemed impossible becomes familiar and fear loses its grip. You start to see obstacles not as punishments but as opportunities to refine your skills and solidify your will. Each trial faced with determination strengthens your ability to remain calm in chaos, patient in uncertainty, and fearless in pursuit. This mental and emotional stability becomes the foundation for lasting success in every aspect of life. The human mind carries a power that most people never come close to realizing. It is not limited by circumstance, age or background, but by the boundaries it accepts. The moment you decide that something is impossible, your mind obeys. Yet when you choose to persist, when you commit to moving forward, no matter the difficulty, the mind begins to stretch beyond its old patterns. It adapts, sharpens, and becomes capable of things that once seemed unreachable. Persistence acts as the key that opens the hidden chambers of your potential. The mind strengthens through pressure. Just as muscle grows when pushed to exhaustion, mental power expands when it faces resistance. Each time you encounter a challenge and continue, the mind learns that struggle is not danger but opportunity. It stops fearing failure and starts seeking solutions. Persistence trains the brain to operate with clarity even in chaos, to focus when distractions scream, and to find a way when none seems visible. This transformation does not happen in comfort, it happens in effort. Doubt is the natural barrier that guards untapped potential. The human mind questions its own capacity when faced with the unknown, whispering that it cannot endure, cannot win, cannot change. But persistence silences that voice not by argument, but by action. Every act of endurance rewires thought, replacing hesitation with conviction. With time, persistence becomes the mind's default response to challenge, and fear loses its authority. The mind that refuses to quit becomes unstoppable. Through persistence, the mind develops discipline, the rare ability to stay focused beyond mood, circumstance or convenience. When the world distracts, the persistent mind continues. When results delay, it still acts. Discipline is not a gift, it is a product of repetition, of showing up even when the reward is invisible. This mental resilience becomes a force of creation, turning vision into reality, thought into action, and dreams into achievements. Success is rarely instant, it is the result of relentless effort sustained through time, pressure, and persistence. Those who achieve greatness are not defined by a single moment of brilliance but by their endurance through countless unseen struggles. Success demands consistency when motivation fades, discipline when distractions rise, and patience when progress feels invisible. The path to achievement is long and uneven, shaped not by luck, but by the will to continue despite the lack of immediate reward. Every lasting success is built upon small, deliberate actions repeated with intent. Greatness is not born from one grand act, but from the quiet persistence of daily effort. Each step, no matter how insignificant it may appear, compounds over time, shaping outcomes that once seemed impossible. Those who commit to the process rather than the result find that consistency transforms effort into excellence. Time becomes their ally, not their enemy. because they understand that persistence builds momentum where shortcuts only lead to collapse. Patience is the silent companion of success. The world celebrates results but overlooks the years of endurance that created them. The one who continues to move forward, even in obscurity, learns to draw strength from persistence itself. Progress that is earned slowly carries depth and stability, while what comes easily often fades just as quickly. Time refines skill, strengthens conviction, and reveals the true worth of effort. Success that endures must be grown, not rushed. Obstacles are not barriers, they are disguised opportunities that challenge you to evolve beyond your current state. When faced with resistance, most people see only limitation, but those who look deeper recognize the hidden lesson within the struggle. Life does not place obstacles to stop you, but to strengthen the qualities that success requires. Every difficulty demands growth, forcing you to refine your focus, adjust your direction, and awaken the power that lies dormant within you. What feels like an obstacle is often the very condition needed to prepare you for something greater. The presence of an obstacle forces clarity. When the path is easy, intentions become vague and direction loses purpose. Hardship compels you to question why you began, what truly matters, and how much you are willing to give. Through that questioning, distraction fades and vision sharpens. Each time you confront an obstacle with awareness instead of avoidance, you strip away confusion and align more closely with your purpose. The challenge does not weaken your path, it purifies it. Commitment is tested only in adversity. When circumstances turn against you, when everything you built begins to shake, that is when the depth of your dedication is revealed. Words and intentions mean little until pressure exposes what they are made of. True commitment is not born in comfort, but in endurance. The choice to continue even when comfort, support and certainty disappear. The more resistance you face, the stronger your resolve becomes and the more unshakable your purpose grows. Quitting hands control of your life to circumstance, allowing external forces to dictate the course of your existence. When you surrender to difficulty, fear or discomfort, you give away your power and accept limitation as inevitability. Life becomes a series of reactions rather than deliberate choices, and every moment of hesitation chips away at your potential. The act of quitting is not just a pause, it is a permanent shift in authority, placing your destiny in the hands of chance rather than intention. Persistence, on the other hand, restores control and anchors your life in your own will. To continue despite obstacles is to reclaim authority over circumstance, refusing to be manipulated by fear, doubt, or temporary failure. Every step taken in defiance of surrender strengthens the inner core of resilience and determination. When you persist, you define your own path instead of letting life define it for you, creating momentum that carries you forward even when the terrain is uncertain and hostile. Quitting multiplies regret and shrinks vision. The mind becomes consumed with what-ifs and if-onlys, creating a shadow that follows long after the immediate challenge has passed. Each time you give in, you erode confidence and reinforce the notion that external factors are more powerful than your own resolve. Persistence counteracts this by building a record of action, experience and small victories. It trains the mind to focus on what can be done rather than what might go wrong, turning uncertainty into clarity and hesitation into decisive movement. Every act of courage in adversity shapes the very core of who you are, leaving an imprint that cannot be erased. When you stand firm in the face of fear, discomfort, or uncertainty, your spirit grows stronger, not because the challenge has changed, but because you have transformed in response to it. Courage is not the absence of difficulty, it is the conscious choice to act despite it. Each decision to persist, to face what is daunting, and to move forward under pressure becomes a brick in the foundation of your resilience. The impact of courage extends beyond the self. When you confront challenges with determination, those around you witness the strength that emerges from commitment. People are drawn to the energy of someone who refuses to bow to adversity, and your actions become a silent teaching of what is possible. The choices you make under pressure send a signal that obstacles are not to be feared but to be met with awareness and persistence. Courage, in this sense, is contagious, inspiring others to confront their own struggles rather than retreat from them. Courage also reframes your perception of difficulty. Challenges that once seemed insurmountable begin to appear as opportunities for growth and mastery. When you act bravely, you shift your focus from the threat of failure to the potential of achievement. Every courageous act trains the mind to seek solutions instead of dwelling on limitations, transforming fear into energy, hesitation into momentum, and doubt into deliberate action. Through courage, adversity becomes a teacher rather than an enemy. When you refuse to give up, setbacks transform into stepping stones, failures become lessons, and challenges become the very forge in which your strength is built. Life rewards those who endure with clarity, determination, and courage. By holding fast to your path, you shape not only your outcomes but the essence of who you are. Persistence is more than achieving goals, it is a declaration of your inner power and a testament that no force outside or within can extinguish the light within you.